Today, I'm going to be answering the most frequently asked questions about becoming a voice actor. Is it true you can really get paid for just talking? Well, actually, it is true. That's basically what voice acting is all about. Just talking, having a conversation. You've heard the old saying, it's not what you say, but how you say it. That describes voice acting pretty much in a nutshell. Voice acting is easy once you learn the basics, and then it's just a matter of applying those things to each script that you get and practicing. Best thing you can do to become a really good voice actor is always record yourself as you're practicing, and then you listen back to that and you become a director. Ask yourself things like, did I sound natural? Did I sound like I was talking to just one person? Now, the first thing I suggest anyone do, whether you're going to take a workshop or you're just trying to become a voice actor on your own, is you go down to the dollar store and you pick yourself up a cheap microphone so that you can constantly record yourself and listen back to it. The reason I suggest using a cheap microphone instead of the built-in one on your laptop or netbook is because it'll start you off on the right foot for good miking techniques. Even though it won't sound professional quality, it will help you in learning how to use your microphone. So, as you can see, voice acting really is something that, well, basically, anybody can do. It's just a lot of little things, like always using contractions, or learning the correct words to emphasize to draw your listener into a one-to-one conversation, or learning to read a script without it sounding like you're reading it. It's actually very simple things that I'll teach you, and then all you have to do is apply those to every script that you get, and you are basically on your way to getting paid for just sitting down and talking. Do I have to join the union? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I actually encourage you not to join a union when you're first starting out. The reason is because you might get paid more for a union job, but, and here's the big but, the jobs are very few and far between. What I teach you basically is how to be a voice actor from your own home studio. Kind of like being a big fish in a small pond instead of getting lost in the crowd. You'll have a ton more work if you don't join the union. I don't know about you, but I would rather have a steady income every day than sit around waiting for a job that I have to audition for against 15 other guys. And like I say, yeah, you do get paid more for union jobs, but in the long run, you'll end up making much more working on non-union jobs. Besides, the best part is you get to be your own boss. You have complete control over what you're doing and how you sound. I like having that creative control. So, nope, you don't have to join a union. Does it cost a lot of money to set up a home studio? No, not at all. That is probably one of the biggest fallacies about voice acting. Computers have revolutionized the voice acting business, and inside of every computer, and I mean just about every computer, from the new netbooks down to the latest desktops, you've got the equivalent of a $100,000 production studio. And all you really need to get started and unleash that studio is a USB microphone. Those range in price from about, let's say, $69 all the way up to a few $100s. And yes, the $69 one is absolutely perfect for doing voice acting. Now, the one thing I always advise my students is to not let the salesman talk them into getting something that they don't need. A lot of times you'll go down to a music store to pick out a microphone and tell the salesman that you're doing voice acting, and then they'll try to sell you the extra gold-plated this and the shielded cables that and connectors and all sorts of stuff that you really don't need. I do suggest that you go into the store and try out a few different microphones and get the one that sounds best for your voice. But by no means let the salesman talk you into buying all this sort of stuff that you don't need. A simple $70 USB microphone is just perfect for starting out. If you want to upgrade after you start making money, well, then that's a great thing to do. What you have to remember, though, is once you finish recording, you're going to convert your file to an MP3 file. And all the high and low-end extra stuff that most expensive microphones give you, well, that's just wiped away anyway. What you want to look for when you're buying a microphone is the clarity and how it makes your voice sound. Does it make you sound warm? Does it make you sound comfortable? Are you clear when you talk into the microphone? Now, the one other thing that you'll need is audio editing software, and you can get that free. It's a program called Audacity, and it will do everything you need it to do to get started in voice acting. If you want to upgrade after you're making money, you can, but I've found over the years that I really don't even end up using all the bells and whistles that they charge you for in other editing software. Mainly, all you ever use the software for is to record your voice, edit your voice, and then add some music or sound effects and then convert it over to an MP3 file. And Audacity does all of that, and very well, I might add. What if I don't have a good voice? Can I still be a voice actor? There really are no good or bad voices when it comes to voice acting. It all boils down to how you use your voice. The industry is looking for all kinds of voices. High, low, medium, squeaky, gruff. Any voice is perfect for voice acting. And yes, they are looking for all kinds too. Male, female, kids, old, young, middle-aged, any voice. Voice acting is taking the voice you have and then using it in a certain way. That's why it's actually so fun and so profitable. If you can talk, you can be a voice actor. Most people think it's a complicated thing to do and to break into, but it's really not. All you need to do is learn the basics of how to use your voice and then practice. It really is that easy. How much money could I make being a voice actor at home? How much you make really depends upon how much you put into it. Now, I'm not talking about how much you put into each thing you voice, but how much you put into marketing yourself. How you get your name out there and your voice out there for people to hear. Once you get a couple of things under your belt, word of mouth spreads like wildfire, and then you'll have people coming to you. Most people don't know where to go to find a voice actor, so if you're there when they're looking, you'll be the one who gets hired for the job. I'll give you a couple examples of how much you might charge as a non-union voice actor for things, but you charge what you want to charge. Now, whenever I take on a new client, I always give them a range of what I would charge, and then I always follow up with, but I'm more than willing to work within your budget. I look at it like this. All I'm expending is a little bit of my time. I'm willing to make a little less on the first job and gain a potential long-term client that's going to bring me in steady work. After they hear what you can do for them, believe me, they'll pay you what you're worth. Okay, a couple of examples of what you can make. Let's say you're voicing a 30-second radio commercial. You'll get paid anywhere from $50 to $100, and it should take you about 15 minutes to complete. For voicing a computer-based training or web-based training, you'll get anywhere from $10 to $15 per slide, and each training usually has anywhere from 100 to 500 slides in it. For other narration, you can expect from $15 to $25 per finished minute of audio. So you can see the potential to make a nice living is there. The thing of it is, you won't be voicing 8 hours out of the day. A lot of your time will be spent marketing yourself and finding new clients. After a while, you'll have a steady flow of people that you voice for, and then the work will start coming to you without you going out and looking for it. What kinds of things will I be doing as a voice actor from my own studio? Well, if you stop and think about it, every business uses a voice actor in one way or another. You have things like telephone prompts, on holds, in-store announcements, commercials, computer-based trainings, training films, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You'll also be voicing characters for video games, television commercials, radio imaging, public service announcements, cartoons, documentaries, slideshows, and on the internet, it's a whole new and wide open world. There are flash videos, talking banners, machinima, welcome messages, website tours, real estate tours, web-based trainings, and the list just goes on and on. Gaming companies and film companies, radio stations, television stations, well, they're all now farming their work out to home studios and voice actors just like you and me. Plus, there's the huge hidden voice acting market, and I'll show you how to access that.